Hey yo, what up? It's your boy. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Fight! So for those of you who don't know, Let's Fight, it's a series where I ask you guys over on my Twitter to give me some horrible opinions and takes. But in this episode, I asked you guys, what is an anime with the worst title and why? If the title doesn't sound appealing to you, more likely than not, you're not going to give the show a go. But here are your opinions. March comes in like a lion. Like, who thought this translation of Sangatsu no Raion was good? That horrible title is the main reason why I don't ever refer to the otherwise amazing series by its English name. Yeah, I always did think that that was a weird title, especially considering that Sangatsu no Raion is just March's lion. I don't know why they turned it into some kind of like metaphysical analogy of a lion walking in like a particular month of the year. Not to mention the Japanese title itself also doesn't really make a lot of sense. I mean, for the most part, when you look at the title like Sangatsu no Raion or March Comes In Like a Lion, you wouldn't expect it to be about what it actually is about. But then I guess if you called it something along the lines of genius shogi player goes insane and learns about the joys and struggles of being an absolute prodigy, yeah, that wouldn't necessarily hook you in either. So I guess March Comes In Like a Lion is the best we're gonna get.
Yo, what up? It's your boy. Before we begin, let me tell you about the sponsor of this video, Bloodline Heroes of Lithus. Bloodline Heroes of Lithus is a card-based fantasy RPG in 3D realistic graphics where you can not only collect champions, build kingdoms, but also create legendary heirs of your houses by combining the forces of various bloodlines such as orcs, lycans, demons, and dragonborn. If you're a fan of traditional Western fantasy and a visually stunning 3D realistic graphics set, plus relaxing yourself with easy controls on a vertical screen on your mobile device, then Bloodline has got you covered, baby. Choose your path by raising heirs with true companions from a vast fantasy world, and customize your champions by marrying different bloodlines until you find a unique combination of any 5 powerful abilities out of dozens of traits that suit your own need for gameplay. Let me tell you, boys and girls, that with Bloodline, the possibilities are truly endless. So if that sounds like something that would interest you, then go check out the game for yourself by clicking the link down in the description below or checking out the QR code on screen right now. Plus, you can use my gift code down in the description below to get a bunch of different prizes like these, for example. Big thank you to Bloodline Heroes of Lithus for sponsoring this video. On to the show.
Clannad, because as a child I used to think that it was an anime about clans because me dumb and infer meaning from title. Where in reality, Clannad and Clannad After Story is a slice of life anime that breaks you to your core and you will not be able to ever recover. I mean, if you happen to infer it as clan thing, then I don't blame you. There isn't actually any justified reason as to why Maeda Jun decided to call it Clannad. I saw a couple of theories floating around online that supposedly it is an amalgamation of like clan, as in like, you know, like a family, and then the D being short for dango, as in like dango daikazoku, you know, the big family of dangos, absolutely butchered and slammed into one weird English word. To be honest, I think Clannad is a really fucking cool title because it's punchy, it's to the point, and it's memorable. Like, even people who have never seen Clannad before know the title Clannad. You know, it's certainly better than half the fucking light novel titles out there that is just a full fucking sentence with full punctuation. The show was a good laugh for me, but my man really suffered because he was pressured into buying a bootleg game. The title of this anime is Full Dive. The ultimate next-gen full dive RPG is even shittier than real life. This is a fucking amazing title. You know, I was complaining about light novel titles being way too long, but when your title has the word shittier in the title, you're gonna remember that for the rest of your life. Let's be real now. Haikyuu, I mean, come on, my gripes with the title are self-explanatory. When do they break into prose during an intense volleyball game? Or when does a band of bards serenade the team, blah, 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 blah? Okay, let me school you on some Japanese, okay? In a lot of sports in the Japanese language have their Englishified versions and their full-on Japanese versions. For an example, baseball can be said as baseball in Japanese, but the proper Japanese term for it is yakyuu. And lo and behold, guess what? The proper Japanese word for volleyball is Haikyuu. Look up a dictionary next time. It's a perfectly good title. Durarara. From what I've gathered, it is supposed to be the sound of a motorcycle engine. This show is too complex for something so simple, and especially since this show is about gangs. Also, season 2 was just the same thing with two Yeah. To be honest, I don't really have a problem with Durarara. Again, it's a lot like Clannad, where yeah, sure, the title may not necessarily have a meaning, but it sure as shit is memorable. And it's not like Durarara is completely off the mark when it comes to the theme of the show either. I mean, Celti, the real like titular character, does drive a motorcycle, and what is one, I guess, stereotypical vehicle that a lot of gangs drive around? It's motorcycles. Rascal does not dream of probably Bunny Girl Senpai. Look, I love this show and everything, but the title makes you think that there are bunny girls in it, which there is, only for a minute or so, and every time I mention it, friends go, oh, is that a hentai? Yeah, not gonna lie, there is this like weird stereotype, I guess, of bunny girls being immediately associated with hentai or adult-oriented content in the anime world. I feel that's mostly a result of us being horny on main. And look, I also agree with the fact that I think that title is really freaking stupid and definitely does push away a lot of the more normie viewers into watching a show like this, but at the same time, I don't blame Kabushida Hajime for going with this particular title because it is conceptually quite a difficult show to explain with a simple title. Like, how do you make quantum mechanics appeal to a weeb audience without it being too dragged out and boring for the common folk to try and understand? As Philip DeFranco once said, you gotta trick your kids into eating your vegetables. Toilet-bound Hanako-kun, I mean, it makes sense, but that first impression is just awful. I'm fully expecting this thing to be about some dookie boy. Oddly gross title for something that's actually pretty wholesome? What the hell's wrong with you? I did not see the title of Toilet-bound Hanako-kun and immediately think of some like fucked up scat shit. Like that seems like a you problem more so than a Toilet-bound Hanako-kun problem. Okudakigai Nomachi is a fine title, but somehow the Western translates it to just erased. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I agree with this one. This is a really fucking lazy English title. The town where only I don't exist makes perfect sense from the whole time travel aspect of the series, but erased? Why? Nothing about the word erased fits in to the theme of erased. Like, it is such a lazy title. You know, maybe something like the town where I disappeared, or the erased town, or something. The word town and me in the Japanese title has just been completely erased. Maybe that's what they mean with the word erased, as in like, we just erased the original title and just forgot to fill in the placeholder. Neon Genesis Evangelion. The little old lady at the thrift shop was so happy and overjoyed that I was buying those and started talking to me about Jesus every time I picked up a new VHS. After someone told her what it was really about, she stopped supplying all anime. God damn, that old lady had absolutely no chill. You know, there's a couple of people who are complaining about the title of Neon Genesis Evangelion being weirdly biblical. And I mean, I guess when you think about it in that sense, yes, there is a lot of biblical imagery. Anno Hideaki, the creator of Evangelion, has stated on multiple occasions, the title and the show itself has absolutely no meaning. Man Girl immediately comes to mind. I know what they were going for, since it's about girls making a manga magazine, so manga plus girl equals Man Girl. But seeing the title Man Girl for the first time made me think it was a completely different kind of show. Yeah, I also agree with this. This is a really shit title that clearly works a lot better in the Japanese context, not so much for the English context. It's like that age-old tradition of Orangina and them not ever coming out with a mango-flavored one because it would be man, you get the rest. Attack on Titan. There are so many themes in the show that take center stage before we get to the actual Attack Titan. It's just extremely underwhelming when you look at everything the show presents and what the Attack Titan means to it. Not to mention that they have completely mistranslated the Japanese title as well. Like, I saw a lot of people bring up Attack on Titan, you know, talking about the Attack Titan problem, but it goes, I think, even before that whole problem. Because the Japanese title, Shingeki no Kyojin, is translated more to as the Attacking Titan. So by calling it Attack on Titan, they've pretty much done the opposite of what the Japanese title actually means. They've completely missed the mark. Like, you're not attacking on the Titan, you are a Titan that is attacking, and Titan in the Japanese title sense is a lot more of a metaphorical sense of the word. Like, yes, it is referring to the actual Titans in the show, but Titan could also be meaning like a strong power, aka the strong power to fight back against all odds. You are becoming a titanious force against the inevitable. So yeah, just call it SNK. Batum! I get it, it's anime about CSGO, but only with bombs and grenades. In my opinion, it gets a little bit too real in the second half, just to be named after a sound of an exploding bomb. I don't know, I mean, the main concept of Batum is, as you said here, about using bombs and grenades and trying to survive in a death game kind of thing, right? So what's the best way to come up with a catchy title? Sure, something like Batum. At least they put the T in there. I don't think if the show was called Boom or Blau or something, you know, a little more generic bomb sounding, it would have impacted the anime world as much as it did. Fireworks, should we see from the side or the bottom? My problem falls on the movie itself. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember thinking I wasted my money on watching this with its convoluted plot and out of the blue ass pulls. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, I made a video on the main channel a long time ago about how this was one of the most disappointing anime films I had watched in a long time. And yeah, the title is really dumb as well. I don't know why they couldn't have just called it Fireworks or, you know, at least shorten it in some way. Like the fact that they have two different questions in the title, both of which make absolute no sense in the physical realm and also don't make much sense in the context of the movie as well. Yeah, pretty crap title. I agree with this one. When there's an X in there, it looks alright as a title card or logo, but it's kinda silly, and for whatever reason, if you pronounce the X that's in the title, some people frown upon it. And for good reason. I do not get people who pronounce the X in any anime title, because let me tell you right now, you don't fucking pronounce the X in any of the titles. It's not Hunter x Hunter, it's just Hunter x Hunter. It's not Spy x Family, it's just Spy Family. Like, yeah, sure, is the X necessary in the title? No, but I think it's also just, we need to start getting the idea out there that just because it's in the title, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be pronounced. You don't pronounce the K in the word knife every time you say the word knife, now do you? So I'm a spider, so what? I refuse to use that translation because it needlessly keeps the order of the original phrases in Japanese. They could have just easily called it, so what if I'm a spider, and it'd be a lot less clunky. I absolutely agree. I think this title is absolute dog shit. It is offensive to the English language. I just hate the fact that they use the word so twice in this one sentence. Like, no one says so twice in a question like this. This is basic English. Anyone who passed primary school should know that you shouldn't put so twice. This is definitely, if you type that shit out in Word, that you're gonna get green squiggly lines for days on end. Yuri on Ice, for real though, why did they make the main character of a yaoi anime to be named Yuri? Okay, I feel this is a massive problem that exists in the English title of it, because the Japanese title is completely okay. This comes down to a pronunciation difference between Yuri, the main character of Yuri on Ice, and Yuri, the genre of manga and anime that revolves around girls' love. They look and are spelt exactly the same. That's what is called a homophone. But in Japanese, they sound completely different, and they are two completely different words. So yeah, just a mispronunciation problem, unfortunately. No one can be bothered to put accents. Gintama is certainly up there. I mean, it literally means silver balls. Guess it's because you get kicked in the balls a few times in a way, because it's that hilarious. And by the end of the anime, your balls become hard as silver? What? I mean, look, this is Sorachi Hideaki we're talking about, literally the biggest troll in the entire manga industry. Clearly, he just tried to make his anime sound like Kintama, which means testicles. So he replaced kin, gold, with ging, silver, because Gintoki is the main character. And tama, instead of balls, tama actually means soul in Japanese in the context of Gintama. So Gintama actually means silver soul, which makes a whole lot of sense because, again, you are following the life of Gintoki, the silver character, and the show itself has a lot of soul and spirit to it. So it actually is quite a wholesome title when you look at it just from the context of the Japanese title and what kanji is used in the title. Two-Car, by far, is the shittiest, most uninspiring anime title ever. It's like calling Haikyuu Slapball and Free Male Swim. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a shit title, but let's be real. Who the fuck watched Two-Car? But hey, we're gonna leave it at that. What did you think about any of the opinions that you saw and any of my responses to them? Let me know down in the comments below. And hey, if you'd like to join in for the next Let's Fight series, then follow your boy over on Twitter. Subscribe as well by smacking my face right here. Let's keep making a big channel go grow bigger. And over here next to my head is a couple more videos you can check out as well if you enjoyed this one, and links to all my social media, all that kind of stuff down in the description below as well. And thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.